Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. I'm bringing the comment box. So today I share 3 files with you. So today I want us to calculate. I want us to calculate the total amount spent at each store with non-liquidate. Liquidate. Status. The store, each store gives customer 20% discount on item purchase greater than 30. Okay, each store give customer 20%. If unit, if they buy more than 30 units of item. So basically, this is what the problem we want to solve today. Well, here I will use some different tools. That are not similar to the one we did last time. So okay. So let me bring in so the first thing to do is to bring in the input data, right? And we bring in 3 because we have 3 data files. So let me bring this. So the first data set is the North store and the South store. So let's bring in the store. Then I'm going to click on files. So I will do Excel and I will do the North store. Okay, so this will not load simply because it is open here. So I have to close it. So if I do refresh, it's going to load.
Okay.
So the next one I'm going to do we have the North. I'm going to do the South. So I'm going to close this. Do the South. I'll do files. I'll do Excel. And I'll do the South. Do okay. And the third one is the store name. It's the store name. So I'll put this one here. Let me drag this one here for a reason. Do file. Now do store name. And I'll do okay. So let's give it a run. So if you look at this, let's start from the store name. Because we have just different type of store. We have Walmart, Kroger, Aldi, BJ's, and Costco, or whatever. So the thing is this. Let's take a look at just for the sake of the class. I know you are very busy, and I know others will not join. So I decided to bring in a very clean data. So the
Oh.
very first thing for us to do is this. Whenever you see a green bar, that shows that the data is okay. Can you say okay 100%?
Mm-hmm.
Once you see like a red or yellow, that means the data is not okay. So the color coding for our data profiling is yellow, red, and green. So let's check. This is 100%. This is 100%. This 100%. This 100%. Can you see? It says
Yes.
now 3.7%. That shows we have some probably blank values. And this data says okay. And if you take a look at this, the not store have 7 field, which is a 7 column, the cost ID, the product name, price per unit, the quantity, store ID, store status, and the date.
Mm-hmm.
And let's check for the south. So the
Oh,
south
right.
only have just 5. So, and the thing is that what it means is that if we look at this customer ID, it means that a single customer can shop at any of this location. And inside each of this location, we have different stores, right?
Yeah.
But the question says we should calculate the total amount spent at each store with non-liquidate status. So basically what we are looking at, if we look at this, the store status is in the not data set, or
Mm-hmm.
it is not here, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what we want to do is that for us, before we need to have a single data stream here. Simply because we have the cost ID, we need to join everything together and later do a lookup. If you take a look at this, we have A001. But inside the store table, we have what? We have the restore name. So
Mm-hmm.
here we're going to use the find and replace to look up for this one, like a lookup value
Yeah.
after joining this. We
Yeah.
join these together, then we'll look up for this to have a complete table. And once we have a complete table, then we're going to build our workflow. So the first thing that we need to do is that, I
Is
don't know.
I'm not sure it's going to be complete, right? Because South Store doesn't have status.
Yeah, so this is the thing. The South store doesn't have the status, but I can join these two together to bring the store here. Store status here and the date. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying? Now, after joining
Yeah.
the two together, then we can then look up in this table. Let's give it a try. We have the
Okay.
join to, we have the multiple join. We can join by what they have in common. We can bring all other things into it. So
Yeah.
let's give it a shot. Before doing that, I don't know, maybe let's check and see if our data type all those column I'm the right. Okay, let's check the metadata. Let's click on the metadata. And this one says, can you see the customer ID is sales double, the product type says strings, string, the price per unit, the date says string, and the date can never be in string. The store ID is in string, the quantity is in double, and the quantity can never be in double. Let's take a look at it. So for us to do that, the not store has date. If I throw in the auto 2, I won't be able to change this date because let me show you something. By auto field. So if I throw in the auto field, the date is in a string. Look at the date is in string format. The date is supposed to be in what? Date time or date. But the date is in v string, which is wrong. So let me throw in this. Can I say it selected all the columns that we have? Let me change this to date. And let me give it a run. So this is the output. And let's check the metadata. Can you see? This is string.
Yeah.
So this it doesn't work for this. And the store starts with a string, which is okay. The store ID is string. The quantity is double. Let's check the quantity real quick. If this is the quantity, can a quantity be a decimal? That's another thing. So that's wrong. A quantity will always be an integer. So if we use this, it's not going to change everything. But let's do something to change this to change it. And later we can now apply the date time to it. Because if the output cells, the output of the auto field cells that the quantity is double, then something is really wrong here.
Yeah.
You know, it is an auto field. A quantity is supposed to be an integer, right?
Yes, yeah.
So I would delete this. Then I will bring in the select to. Don't worry, I will make sure I keep the whole class very short. I know you're very busy. So if I click on this, I threw in the select tool. Let me give it a run. So after running it, and so that here I can change it to whatever choice I want. So
Yeah.
for the product type, I have the string. For the price, double is okay. For the quantity, and I have to change this to integer. Let's just get int 16 or int forever. That should be fine. And let's take a look at something. What about the date?
Get format right.
So let's see if the date is gonna work. I know it's not gonna work, but let's leave it as date. And let's give it a run.
Run.
Can you see? It says finish running in 0.7 seconds with one feed conversion error. So let's take a look at the metadata. It says one feed conversion error.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's troubleshoot something. I'm going to throw in the formula 2. Let me say I want to. Okay, sorry. Let's throw in the filter. The filter instead. I want to filter by a particular date. And let's see if it's gonna work. Select date. Then this is equals. Okay, this is fixed. So let's do date is less than. I'm gonna do less than and equals to 2020. Let's do 12:31. Give it a run. This is it says select 6. Date 1/16. Okay. Let's do this. Oh, I think it works. Can you say it? It works. So we are able to get the select date to convert that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I think we're on the right path. So if we are able to get the select date to convert that. Let me throw in the another something again. Let's delete this. There is another tool we can use again. let's delete this. I want to do favorite, recommended. Okay, it should be in. Okay, daytime now. What? No, that's not it. Let me see. Okay, I think I say it's here. No, it's daytime. Yeah. So can you see what it's saying right away?
Straight to date time.
Let me drag this. I just want to show you something because at times you might be working and something might not be converting. So we have a specialized daytime tool that can do the date conversion for you based on the format of the dates that you have in the data set. So if you look at this, it says that the dates in the data set is in the form of what? String.
String. Okay.
So we want to convert it from string to the daytime. And that is on what? Is on the date column, right?
Mhm.
And what do we want? Okay, select the format that matches the incoming string field. So the incoming string field is what?
That's year, month, day.
So let's go back to this. So this is the incoming format, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Month, and day, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure, let me. Yeah. Yeah, month, yeah, month, and day. So if we click on this, then we'll select. Can you see? This is the format. Then we can name this to be specify the new column name for the day. Then we can name it to be the probably new date. Let's just use new date. Can you see? Can you see? Daytime 2.
Yeah, not sure.
Yeah. So we are able to get the select 2 to work with it. Well, in some scenarios it won't work. But the best tool for us to use whenever we are unable to convert the date column to the read date is always good to go for this to use this daytime tool. So let me just delete this and let's use the select. So that's that. Please, if you have any question, let me know. The Alteryx is pretty very easy. It's like just probably playing with a toy. So now we want to change this to date, right? Let's change this to date.
Yes, yeah.
Let's change this to, we can leave that as is. Let's change this to int 16 and let's give it a run. Finish running a 1 feed conversion error. Okay. So now we have 7 fields and 53 records. So let's proceed to the South store. So I think this South store, let's check the metadata. So the South store quantity column is double. And since the customer ID is also double, so okay, I think here we need to change the customer ID to int 16. So let me throw in another preparation to the select. So then I'll change my cost ID to int 60. Yeah. And I'll change also, yeah, to int 16. So let me give it a run. So one fit conversion error. So now we have the 7 field and we have the 5 fields. But we need everything to be in 7 fields, right?
Yeah.
So let's do something. We have the joint. If you click on the join to palette, we have the union and we have the join multiple. We have the join. We have the union. So I'm going to throw in the union for you to see for us to see how it's going to behave, right? So let's throw in the union. The union can take two. You can see you see like 2 in arrows. That means it can take only 2 data stream. Let's do this. I'm not saying this is the right thing to do. We're just trying to see how it's going to behave. Can you see say auto config by name? Let's see all the joining options that we have. It says auto config by position, then manually configure fields. Let's select the auto config by name and let's give it a run. Let's see how it's going to behave. It just finished rolling in 0 seconds with 1 feed conversion error and 2 warnings. So now we have 95 records and we have 7 fields. Let me document that. So when we use the auto config by name, we have 95 records and 7 fields. Do you know if we have duplicate values? Let's see. Here we have 53 records, right? Here we have 42 records. Okay. So 53 plus 42. That gives us what? 95. So if you want to probably look at it from a kind of a mathematics standpoint, that means that what the auto config by name does is that it stack it on top of each other. It stacks the north at the top, the north star, and the south at the bottom. Let's go to our record 53. I'm going to show you something. Record 53. Can you see? This is where the north star ends. This is the last record in the table. Can you see? Can you see this? So in Alteryx, you can stack table on top of each other using the auto config by name. If the name, like for instance, I don't know, maybe you are able to get these the arrangement of this name. If you take a look at it, you can see that from the cost ID to the quantity, it is in the same pattern with the south store. Can you see?
Yeah.
So what it does is that, the north store is let's say 7 by 53 matrix. So the column header is 7. That's going to be the parent, the foundation, and just going to add any data, any column in South store that exists in the North store. So that is the reason why you said that are they probably the date and the other column, they have all non-values simply because in the South store is only 5 columns, 5 fields. So that is how the auto config by name works. It will stack the data table on top of each other if they share the same name, if the column names are the same. So let's delete this and let's do, okay, let's change the auto config by name. Let's change it to auto config by position and let's run it. Let's see how it's going to behave. Say 1 feed conversion error and 1 warning. So what we have is 7 column and 53 records. Auto config by position. So we still have 95 records. Let's go to 53, the 53rd record, and let's see if the behavior is the same as the previous one. This 53. Can you see it's the same? In this scenario, it's the same. So the 54th record is where the South store started having like the non-value in the store status and the dates.
Yeah.
So let's check for the last one, which is the manually configure field. Can you see? This is the initial behavior that I was trying to explain to you. The first one that has 7 record, this. So if I switch this south to the north position, if the south store is the first file that I brought into this canvas, that means that the south is going to be at the top and the north is going to be at the bottom. So I can do a reset. Can you see? I can shift all this. Can you see? So it says set a specific order. So I can select this and it used to be, and I can also select this. Can you see?
Yeah.
So you can arrange the way you want, feel like the way you want it to be, the way you want it to look. You can do whatever you want to do. That's the beauty of Alteryx. Alteryx is like just playing with something. Very user friendly. So that is that. So let's leave it as auto config by name. Let me run it. So this is how the union 2 behaves. Let's try and see how the join will behave. Let's delete this. This is how you can probably, this is how you can get to know how each of the two behaves. You can use a tool for so many in so many different ways. It all depends on how confident and comfortable you are with it. So that's the reason why I said there are so many ways you can build your workflow. You can probably have like 3 data streams. I can have 1 and we'll still get the same result. It all depends on how you are able to interpret the question you want to solve. So let's throw in the join and let's see how this. So now I believe by now you should be comfortable using the select. By now you should be able to identify the limitation of auto field. And by now you should be able to know what the union 2 is capable of doing. So the other time it was an auto configuration, right? Now,
yeah.
Let's see what's going to happen here. So by default, when I drop the join 2 on the canvas, it automatically pick from this data stream. And another thing is that each of the 2 on the Alteryx Designer canvas always have a 2 ID number. Can you see input data 2? This is input data 3. This is select 10. This is select 11. This is join 13. Because at times when we run into error and we want to troubleshoot, what you will see at the back at the background error is going to be the two number. So if you say join 13, then you go to join 13 and probably rework or redo your configuration to fix the error. So that is the reason why each of the two always have a unique number. So let me join this to the right anchor. So if you take a look at this, we have all the lefts. These are all the data columns coming from the left anchor, which is this data stream, which is the left anchor, the left data stream, and the right data stream, right?
Yeah.
So here we have the cost ID, and we also have the cost ID. So now if I want to join my table, I want to bring in the date, right? And I want to bring in the what? I think the store ID. So this is what I will do. If I want to unselect all the right all the right data stream, let me see. There's always a way to do that. I'll go to options. Okay, go to options. Then we go to, can you see? You can see the select all.
Yeah.
So here, and I can also do this and say select all. At the option again, you can also come here and say deselect all left. These are the certification exam. This thing always come out. Here I can also say select all left, right? So this option in the join to, they will ask you what are the options that they join to. They can just give like a kind of drawing, throw in this tool and give you like a configuration panel like this, and for you to choose the right answer. So what can you do with a join to? So simple thing. So in the left anchor, in the right anchor, in the left anchor, I want to choose all my columns. And in the right anchor, I just want to return only worth. I don't want to duplicate the quantity. I don't want to duplicate the right price per unit. I don't want to duplicate the product type. I don't want to duplicate the cost ID because by default, they are joined by cost ID, right? I just want to return my store ID and the date. The store ID and the date. The date store ID is what I need from me actually. And this is the thing. Do you know the reason why this unknown is checked? So if I uncheck this unknown, if I uncheck this unknown, now I'm building this workflow using what? Using a data table that has 7 columns, right? And a data table that have five columns, right? I'm trying to join them together. So if this is a live database, if this is connecting to a live database, and I uncheck this unknown, whenever there is a change in the database structure, maybe the column increases to probably like 8, 9, or 10, the data is not going to be brought into this workflow. But with this unknown check, as your data set grows, either in column or in column, to be precise, because the column is what we are bringing into this, it will also be brought into the canvas. Do you get what I'm saying? If you uncheck this, that means you are not allowing any additional column that is coming from the live database or the original data source to be populated in this workflow. So we always keep this to be checked, this unknown. So I think we have all what we need now, right? And I want to label this to be, do we have store ID here?
Yeah.
We have store ID. So what are we bringing from the
It's
the date? Okay.
for
Okay.
the status.
The date and the store status. So, okay, the thing is that I think I didn't structure something very well. The not store contains all what we need. The not store contains all what we need.
Right.
So this is the thing. I was supposed to put the date here, and the store status to be in the not. So what we are trying to achieve is this. It's pretty very easy. Let me just show it to you. You can see now that if I have my date in the right data stream, I can check it here. Because this is going to be the output of the whole configuration. I want you to pay attention to this. This join anchor is whatever I select from here. That's going to be the output of this join. So let's do something real quick. Let's choose, can you see it? Detect the right anchor primary key right away. So if, for instance, let me show you something. I'm going to do, look at this down arrow. I can use it to place this down. So let's say this date is in the right data stream. And I want it to be part of the output I want to have on my join. What I'm just going to do is I'm just going to check the columns that I need to be in my output. That's all. So by so doing, it's like, okay, fine. Family A has like 2 boys and 2 girls. Family B has 2 boys and 2 girls. I only need the 2 boys from family A and need the 2 girls from family B. So I will check the 2 boys and I will check the 2 girls from the other part and join them together. That's how it works. So for the sake of the class, let's put this back, and you can also arrange these the way you want it to be. Whatever the arrangement you choose here is what is going to be displayed in your output anchor by the time we run it. So now we have our cost ID, the product type, the price per unit, the quantity, the store ID, the store status, the date. Then I'm going to check this off. So in the first place, what I'm going to tell you is this. The only operation we are just performing right now is just for us to show how the tools works. But ideally, I should have part of what I want to select in my icon, in my output anchor to be in each of this table. But now the node store has everything. But I think, are you clear with that?
Yeah.
So the date's supposed to be here and the status supposed to be here. So I can check the date from the south store and check the status. The status will be automatically checked from the left because the data stream is starting from the left. And whatever I need to add to my output anchor will be selected from the right. So that is how it works. So let's give it a run. So now we have 47 records, right?
Yep.
And before we have, the total before was 95.
95.
Yeah. So now, based on the customer ID from the 2 location, so we are able to pull this up. This is our final, the output of our join. So now we have all these and these. And so the next thing for us to do now is this. This store ID, I want to replace it with the store name. I can do find and replace, and I can append. You know what an append means? Like if I append, the column is going to increase from 7 to 8. If I replace, the column is still going to remain 7. And we're still going to have the same value. But if you want to compare, like, okay, fine. I just want to be sure that store A002 is probably Kroger or Walmart. I can put them to be side by side, or I can put them to be in the to be in the same table. So let's do this. So let's look for the find and replace. So it look like a lens, and can you see this is the find and replace tool? Let's look at the configuration. It says find beginning of field, any part of the field, entire field, case insensitive find, match all word only. So these are the configuration. And can you say replace found text with value? Replace multiple found item, find any part of the field. And use, can you see this radio button says append fields to record? So if we check this radio button, that means whatever we'll find is going to be appended to the table. So find within field. So, okay, sorry, you need to join this. So we want to find this, and we want to replace it with whatever we get here. So find any part of the field. What do we want to find? The store ID, right? And what do we want to replace? We join this, find this, and replace found text with, can you see? Store name. Let's give it a run. Let's see if we do the right thing. Can you see? Can you see the output?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we have A006. So we have A006. Okay. So let's assume we want to append fields to record. Let's check on this. And then we'll click on the store name. Let's give it a run again. Can you see what I said? The column is now 8 fields because I click the append radio button. So if I do the replace font text with value, then it's going to be 7.
7 back.
Yeah, so let's just leave that. Okay. So I think we have an issue here. So we have a store ID that says A006. Do we really need that? So I'm going to throw in, how do you think I can remove this A006 from this data record? You should be able to do that. Just think of
But
something.
I mean, so for that 8006, there is no store attached to it.
Yes, and we don't need it in our workflow.
Be able to filter it away, right?
Yeah, you're right. We can filter it. We can write a formula. The best way, there's so many ways to do it, so many ways to approach it. We can filter, we can write a formula. But the easiest way is to, let's use preparation palette. And where is our filter? And let's do filter. So can you tell me what to do now?
Select store.
Select store.
ID, yeah.
Take a look at something. Do you think we did the right thing? No. This should not be the store ID. Or what do you think? It should be the store name.
Yeah, that's true.
So let's go back here.
Name. Huh?
And replace the value store name. Let's give it a run. Store ID. Okay, store name. Okay. Okay, let's leave it that way. So here, store value, append store name, any part of the field, find value, store name. I want to let's give it a run. Looking for a better way to clean it up. Store ID. Entire field. Any part of the feed, entire field. Store ID. Replace font text with value store name. Let's give it that way. I'll just exclude that from the report. So cool. Then okay, so what we need to do now is I want you to tell me what to do. So we have filtering on what? On what column? So what do you want me to choose here? Tell me.
Okay, store name, right?
Yeah, store name. Store name.
The customer. Yeah. That is not known, right?
And equals to none. I don't think it's gonna work, but let's try it. Let's try it. Maybe it will work. Can you see?
But I think the selection is there already. If you click that drop down arrow that does not equal to, yeah, it's not
It's
known.
not, yeah.
Yeah.
So I know it's not gonna work because there is no way we can insert the so and this is the best way to learn instead of just doing it one way. You can always, yeah. Can you say it now? So now we have, before it was 47 records, right? So now it is 40 records. So all the non-value has been excluded. So what is the next thing for us to do? So it says each store gives customer 20% discount if they buy more than 30 units of an item. So the thing is that it says total, and we have the price per unit and we have the quantity. So what we need to do now is we need to throw in the formula 2. Then we have to create the new column. So we can create a new column to add new column to be uh total value. I will say, you can say price per unit, right? Multiply by, can you see the data preview?
Yeah.
Can you see selected the first cell value here in the first record for the price per unit? Multiply by, yeah, multiply by quantity. So that is that. And the data type is going to be what? It's going to be double. So the next thing for us to do is that we want to create a discount, right? Well, let's give it a run and let's think about this. So now we have a total value for each of the customer, right? But we want to give a discount for any quantity that is greater than what? That's greater than 30. So we need to write a new formula. Let's click on this. So for the new formula, it's going to be, can you take a guess? So that's going to be, if the quantity is greater than this, greater than 30, so let's do something here. I'll write a custom formula. If the sum is not none, and quantity is greater than and equals to 30. Let's give it a run. Do you know what I did? I excluded any quantity that is lesser than 30 out of the record. So let's take a look and see what we have here. So now we have just 21 records. So instead for me trying to write a more complex formula to probably give all those quantity, trying to look for probably appending a discount to only 36 from here after throwing the formula 2, I can use the filter to handle it. So now the filter remove the non-value and all the quantity that's greater than and is not null, only full the store name that is not known and the quantity unit that is greater than 30. So that is what we have now. So with this, I can now write my discount formula easily. So to write my discount, I'm going to name this to be my what? Let's say discount. So if they say something is 20% discount, that is going to be 0.2, right? So what I'm going to do now is I will do total spend. Instead of writing this discount, I will do the total spend. I can say total spend, and I'll add the discount to it. I'm going to say total value. You know, I've created a derived column at the top. I'm just going to say total value, then multiply by open bracket. Then I will do this, multiply by I'm coming. I want to see how I can do this. Total value multiply by discount. The discount is 0.2. Total value. Okay. Let's do something. Multiply by let's do multiply by I want to do multiply by 0.2. Okay. That's the total value. Multiply by 0.2. That is the discount. But the total value is going to be 1 minus 0.2. Let me do total value multiplied by 0.2. Let me make this to be double. Let me see. This is the total value. The discount value is 0.2, right? So this is going to give us, this is the discount. So this is the total value that the customer pays. Total spend multiplied by 0.2 is the discount. Let me know if I'm right or not.
Yeah, that's 20%.
So if I give you 20% discount, what you are paying is what? You are paying 0.8.
Yeah.
That is what I want to get. So if I give the customer 0.2, so this is going to be total value to bracket. Let's see if I do this. Okay, so this should be multiplied by 1 minus 0.2. I don't know if this is going to take 8.
Yeah.
That's all right?
Yeah, I think it changed us.
Yeah, so this is if this is the total,
Yeah.
and I'm giving you a discount of 20%, that means
Yeah.
you are just paying for 0.8 per 80%, right?
Yeah.
So let's give it a run. Can be very tricky at times. So let's do this. Total value. So this okay. I think this is
Yeah,
I
it's
think this
working.
is
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So the next thing for us to do is to do what? For each store, calculate the total amount spent at each store with non-liquidate status. So here we have open,
Liquidates.
yes, and liquidate. So what do you think we can do? I think we should be able to add this to this from here, from the filter. And let's do, and just open a square bracket, the store status equals,
Oh, look at this.
then we use a double quote,
Mhm.
equals open.
Okay, yeah. Um, okay. Yeah. Plus 12 records.
Yeah, so now 12 records. So what do you think we can do? In our last class, I think I showed you how to use one very lovely tool like that. I show you I click on the transform tool palette. Can you guess which of these two you believe is going to make a lot of sense? We have the arrange, we have the count record, we have the cross tab, we have the running total, we have the summarize, we have the transpose, and the weighted average.
Summarize.
Yeah. So we're going to drop in the summarize tool. And now we want to summarize by, we want to group by what? We want to group by the store name, because you can see we have BJ, Kroger, BJ, Aldi, Walmart, Costco, blah, blah, blah. And we will need to get the, what's the question? Sales, they calculate the total amount spent at each store. At each store. So we need to group by the store. So what we need to do is that we have to select the store name here. And we'll click on this add. We'll click on group by. And on what column do you think we need to summon? We're going to perform our sum operation.
No, that's the spend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
spend.
the total spend.
Yeah, it's also helpful.
Yeah. So we'll do, then we'll click on the total spend. Then I will do sum.
Mhm.
Then I can rename this to be total spend. Then I'll give it a run. So now we have the Kroger, BJ, Aldi, Walmart, and Costco. So if we want to do like one of sorts in an ascending order, we can also do, let's see, total sum. Let's throw in the, let's do something again, total spend. Okay, now it's not the best way to go about it. And let's use this. If you want to say the total, if you want to say the result in as descending order, we can do the, let me see the preparation too, and we can do the sort. Join the sort here, and we can do sort by total spend in the in descending order. Yeah. So the customer spend more money at BJ's, then Costco, then Kroger, then Walmart, and little amount was spent at Aldi. So this is how it works. So now we have the store name and the total spend. So here,
Can you, yeah,
go
can
ahead.
you PDF or can you this page so that let me even I can let me snip this page so that I'll try it on my own to get to this point. That's what
Okay.
sorry, I want to snip the page and keep because that's one thing. You need someone needs to do this thing by himself to know it.
Yeah, yeah. But
Okay, yeah.
it's pretty very easy.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Yeah.
so now we can summarize that BJ, the customer spend more money at BJ and
Okay.
Costco, Kroger, and the likes. And basically, like I at some point I go to the formula two and I have to go back and insert the formula in the filter because you might get to a stage you're like, okay, why do I have to repeat this step again? Some people they're not so very comfortable. They are just starting to probably learn how to use the technology. They can put another filter in front of this. So you don't have to do that. You can go back into your filter, add to your formula to add to your filter to, and just make sure you have a very compact workflow instead of having a lot of tools on the canvas. These are workflows. By the time we proceed to the intermediate level, I will show you how to build applications. Application where you'll be able to put in values to search for a particular database and to search for a particular result for a date range or something like that. So these are just workflow on how to build simple workflow. But I can turn my workflow into an application just to make it more dynamic. Maybe for instance, I want to build I have a database that's gonna be that's transactional, that is gonna have different date range. Maybe let's say in 2023, by 2025, I still want to use it, make sure my app is useful and I can use it any time of the year, any day, any week, any year. It's always good to build an application for that. So what we do is that we always set a start date and an end date to select for the user to select a date range. So I will show you how to do those uh, configurations. Pretty very easy as this. So this is a workflow. If I want to make sure, if I want to add a date range to this, if this filter is probably changing the date only, I'll just set my date time to application. I'll turn this to an application. I'll just attach it to it, and I will be able to select whatever my start date and end date. If you want to select like a kind of probably from a list of country as well, you want to select a particular state in the country. There's also a way we can do that. You have a text boxes, have list boxes, it have so many tools. So when we get to that level, I will show you how to do that. So do you have any other question?
Ah, no,
Eh,
no question. Thank you very much. I will just have to try it myself and use
eh,
those
Yeah,
information.
yeah, no
So
problem.
I need to build it up to that point before
Yeah,
I can say okay. And if I have
yeah,
questions, I'll definitely send you a chat or let you know.
yeah. So let me know if you'll be available on Friday as well. Anytime
Yeah.
you're available this week, so that I will be able to move as
Okay.
far as possible. So I want you to pay attention to something. Like now, we've used the input tool, we've used the select, we've used the join tool, we've used the
Thank
find
you.
and replace, we've used the
Mhm.
filter, used the formula bar, we've used the summarize. These are the tools that are going to be texted in the designer core exam. So by the time we are done using all this, then you should be able
Mhm.
to take your exam.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right,
Really
yeah,
appreciate
yeah. Good night.
it. Yeah, good night. Thanks. Really
Yeah,
appreciate it. Bye.
yeah. Bye.